Welcome to Miracle Network's Wednesday meditation gathering. I'm so glad you're all here to share this time together. Meditation gathers strength when we meditate together. This week, John and Annie will lead us into the 20-minute meditation, and after that, we're going to open it up for sharing. We end at 10:45. Over to you, John and Annie.
Oh, thank you. We love spontaneous things like this. And interestingly, this morning is the first time we haven't done the lesson straight away because we had our daughter stay to us. It's very lovely, so thank you. So lesson 105, we're going to do a paragraph each. God's peace and joy are mine. God's peace and joy are yours. Today we will accept them, knowing they belong to us. And we will try to understand these gifts increase as we receive them. They are not like to the gifts the world can give, in which the giver loses as he gives the gift. The taker is the richer by his loss. Such are not gifts, but bargains made with guilt. The truly given gift entails no loss. It is impossible that one can gain because another loses. This implies a limit and an insufficiency.
No gift is given thus. Such gifts are but a bid for a more valuable return, a loan with interest to be paid in full, a temporary lending meant to be a pledge of debt to be repaid with more than was received by him who took the gift. This strange distortion of what giving means pervades all levels of the world you see. It strips all meaning from the gifts you give and leaves you nothing in the ones you take.
A major learning goal this course has set is to reverse your view of giving so you can receive. For giving has become a source of fear, and so you would avoid the only means by which you can receive. Accept God's peace and joy, and you will learn a different way of looking at a gift. God's gifts will never lessen when they are given away. They but increase thereby.
As heaven's peace and joy intensify, when you accept them as God's gift to you, so does the joy of your Creator grow when you accept his joy and his peace as yours. True giving is creation. It extends the limitless to the unlimited, eternity to timelessness, and love unto itself. It adds to all that is complete already, not in simple terms of adding more, but that implies that it was less before. It adds by letting what cannot contain itself fulfill its aim of giving everything it has away, securing it forever for itself.
Today, accept God's peace and joy as yours. Let him complete himself as he defines completion. You will understand that what completes him must complete his Son as well. He cannot give through loss. No more can you. Receive his gift of joy and peace today, and he will thank you for your gift to him.
Today our practice periods will start a little differently. Begin today by thinking of those brothers who have been denied by you the peace and joy that are their right under the equal laws of God. Here you denied them to yourself, and here you must return to claim them as your own.
Think of your enemies a little while, and tell each one as he occurs to you, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. Thus you prepare yourself to recognize God's gifts to you, and let your mind be free of all that would prevent success today. Now are you ready to accept the gift of peace and joy that God has given you? Now are you ready to experience the joy and peace you have denied yourself? Now you can say, God's peace and joy are mine, for you have given what you would receive.
You must succeed today if you prepare your mind as we suggest. For you have let all bars to peace and joy be lifted up, and what is yours can come to you at last. So tell yourself, God's peace and joy are mine. And close your eyes a while and let his voice assure you that the words you speak are true.
Spend your 5 minutes thus with him each time you can today. But do not think that less is worthless when you cannot give him more. At least remember hourly to say the words which call to him to give you what he wills to give and wills you to receive. Determine not to interfere today with what he wills. And if a brother seems to tempt you to deny God's gift to him, see it as but another chance to let yourself receive the gifts of God as yours. Then bless your brother thankfully and say, my brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine.
Open your eyes and come back into the room. We have 18 minutes left for sharing. If you'd like to share, raise your hand and I'll invite you to take yourself off mute. Well, Jim, I just want to say thank you for having a plan B. That was wonderful. And John and Annie, thank you for stepping in so quickly and amazing. So I'm grateful. And who'd like to share?
I just want to say thank you to John and Annie for stepping in at short notice.
It was our pleasure.
Our pleasure, always our pleasure. We
Very
love
happy.
you all.
And
Very
it's a lovely, comforting place to be. So it's just lovely to do that. Thank you for asking us.
And I'd like to just share a story which really, really resonates with with today's lesson, is because our youngest daughter was been staying with us. I think some of you will know that their mother, my former wife and very good friend, and Annie's very good friend, has developed 4th-stage cancer in her lung, which has now gone to her brain. And all the kids are rallied round. And lovely Rachel, she came to me and said, "Dad, I feel so bad. I feel so guilty," because she's just recently got engaged to the most beautiful young man who was so delighted for her. She says, "I feel so happy and I feel guilty because I'm, when mum is suffering and everybody." And it's amazing how spirit works. So she came and stayed with us, stayed the night. And on Monday night, we have our course mystical group that we run. And we just read in it. We've read the course itself probably 10 times over the last 10 years. So we decided to read Alan Cohen's latest book, which is wonderful, called Miracles Actually. And we read right through the book. And on Monday night, we got to the last part, which was the epilogue. And if any of you haven't read it, I really suggest, because it echoes exactly what today's lesson is about. And she was sitting in. I mean, she's not a course student, she knows about it, whatever, but she was sitting there as we read the epilogue, where Alan explains how, even though there might be terrible things happening in the world around us at the high level and also in our personal lives, that our greatest gift to the world and to our loved ones at those times is our own peace and joy. And the fact it's been scientifically proved that when we feel peace and joy, positive energy goes out and has a lift. And that was Rachel. She sat in listening, and the next morning she said, "I can't believe that you were reading that epilogue, which was just meant for me," because she had been feeling so guilty. So I just wanted to share that beautiful story and how much I love spirit. Spirit works in amazing ways. So thank you.
Beautiful. Who would like to share? Norman.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. That was very, very nice. Excuse me. It just came into my mind that this is where miracles come from, as John said, for the simple reason, if I have an open mind and an open heart and just look at a situation and don't form an opinion about it, don't judge it in any way, then the miracle will happen, because the Holy Spirit is watching and seeing the same thing I have, with eyes of love and knowledge and knowing, and he knows exactly what needs to be done for a miracle to be performed, provided I keep all my ego thoughts out of the way. But it's so easy to let the ego come in, and then you're just on the road. I'm on the road to nowhere, even if it's a simple an awareness that somebody says, "Oh, I don't like him, what they did to me," and I certainly not try and forgive him for it. This is my ego saying this. And he says, "Oh no," and no matter what I would say, it's obvious it's not going to work. And it's through lessons like this that the penny drops. Just keeping an open mind, Norman. If it's your judgment that says he's angry with somebody, and as you listen to him, you'll take one side or the other, and you're acting as the judge and jury, and that's not going to help anybody. Just look, listen, and do nothing. And with an open mind and a loving heart, the Holy Spirit will do everything that's needed. And that's lovely to have all that reinforced by this lesson. So thank you a million times for everybody, especially John, who's been this good daily life for coming and just reinforcing everything there. Thank you.
Thank you, Norman. And Vivian, take yourself off mute.
Hello, everyone. I have a very simple human story with regard to this. Last Saturday evening, I'd had a very busy day. Had a lovely day, actually. A lot of pleasure and joy in the people I met. Anyway, I went and bought fish and chips for my supper at a local fish and chip shop, which is very good. And I walked in and saw immediately it was a fish and chip shop where they have a few tables where people can actually eat fish and chips. And there was, I won't call this gentleman a down and out. He was an older gentleman, not very wealthy gentleman. Obviously couldn't afford any fish and he was just eating some chips. Anyway, I was feeling happy, big smile. And as soon as I saw him, I said hello and gave him a big smile and got my fish and chips. I walk with a stick. And so as I was coming out, I had my stick, a very heavy door to pull, and my fish and chips. And bless his heart, this man got up from his seat to open the door for me with a big smile on his face, which was just really nice. I thought, yeah, do you know what? It's just sharing peace and joy, isn't it, between people in these very, very human situations. I was very touched by that, actually, just the way things work.
Thank you, Vivian. Who'd like to share? Annie.
I love the storytelling. I want to just tell a story of this all working for me, and just it's a very sweet story. I was travelling back on the Underground after going to a course meeting with Heather Pozo, and it was late, and I'm right at the end of the line, and gradually everybody was getting off the train, everybody, and I was right in the front carriage because I know that's the best place to get off. And there was only one person left in the carriage with me, and he was tattooed, he had earrings everywhere, had a thing in his nose, and they wear all those metal bits on them. I was sitting there thinking, oh my God, am I safe? Am I safe? And then I see him watching the floor, and I look down, and he's looking at a ladybird, and he picks the ladybird up, puts it in his hand, and holds it like this, and we get off at the same station because it's the end of the line. And I watch him, I'm behind him as we go up the escalator stairs. And he gets to the top of the escalator to the outside, and he opens his hands and he says, fly, little one, fly, and blows it away. And I thought, whoa, forget your judgments, darling.
Oh.
And that was a little miracle for me, as it showed me not to judge people from their appearances.
Oh, lovely story. Who'd like to share? Are you?
Thank you. Sorry, this isn't the sharing, just the response to what just Anne said. I'm just gonna tell the story to my husband because he hates somebody's got a ring on the nose. So don't be judgmental. I'll tell that story tonight. Thank you.
I'll just quickly follow up as well about how we can change. Say 40 years ago when I was running my company, big company, and everything else. I can remember telling my front reception, if a guy comes in here looking for a job and he's got an earring, tell him there's no jobs available. And I've forgiven myself.
Who'd like to share? Jim.
Yeah, this is a wonderful lesson, John, isn't it? Because it reminds me how often I give my peace away. Yesterday, a neighbour, has a wood burner at home, and he keeps being given large chunks of wood that he has to cut up with a mechanical saw. And this mechanical saw is quite a jarring sound. He always seems to do it on a nice sunny day when people want to sit in their gardens. I had in mind just going out to the garden, and then this started up. I gave my peace and joy away, really, until I realised, actually, I don't need to. I don't need to give my peace and joy away until he stops cutting up this wood. It's mine. It's always mine. And, it can't be taken away, in truth. It's only my ideas that take it away. So, God's peace and joy and mine are mine. It is a wonderful lesson just to bear in mind all the time, I think. I don't have to do anything, and nobody else has to do anything either to give me peace and joy.
Who'd like to share? Dennis.
Thank you, John and Annie. There used to be a pop song, I think it was the Spice Girls. What I really want, well, peace and joy. Thank you.
Who'd like to share? I had something happen to me last week, which fits in with this lesson. I was walking through the park, and there was this girl on her mobile phone, and she was screaming into it. She said, "He's a bastard. Don't trust him. He lies all the time. He's a fucking asshole." And she was going on and on and on. I just felt so upset to listen to this, and I walked a bit further, and I thought I'll just send her blessings. So I blessed her in her happiness, in her peace, in her comfort, and her joy, and I felt much better, and hopefully she did too. So, yes. And who'd like to share? Annie.
I wanted just to follow up your story about the blessing and how well that really, really works. If you're feeling down or not up for things or something's going wrong, if you focus on what you like and they bless them. And I used to do it in the underground. And back to that, I have lots of underground stories. I'm quite petite, and the underground is quite a challenging place on occasions with so many people. And so I used to bless everybody instead of going, oh my God, I'm being squeezed to all the breath out of my... And I would bless and bless and bless, and someone would always offer me a seat, always. It was always a little miracle followed if I blessed and sent them love. Thank you.
That's lovely. Who would like to share? I'll jump in with another story. I was walking down Oxford Street, and it was really crowded, and people were blocking the way, and I had to walk around them, and I wasn't feeling very comfortable. It's just couldn't wait to get off the road, and just feeling a bit miserable. And then I saw this this girl walked past me and she had a t-shirt on that said, "Focus on the good." So I started to focus on the good, and all of a sudden, it was a beautiful street and a beautiful opportunity. And I said, so I started writing that around so I remember to focus on the good. Yeah, I'm done. Who would like to share? Christine.
Yeah, this is really inspiring. What I've learned by listening to this is that when in the any time that I haven't focused on an outcome, if something has been concerning me or worrying me or unsettling me, if it's a person or an event or something like that, just to send it love and blessings and not to try to manipulate any outcomes, but just to do that. And the changes that come are beyond what you would want in your mind, like your desired outcome is by far surpassed. And I've had lots of experiences of that when I've actually, even when I've been afraid, and that kind of sends you a bit bonkers, and just to send love and blessings and peace and joy, and just asking for that to go to the situation. I think it just always works, and we never know how, and that's really exciting. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. And who'd like to share? Oh, it looks like it's another 1-minute meditation. Yes. Okay, we've come to the end of our time together. Thank you all for joining us today, and have a wonderful week, and sending you lots of blessings of love and peace and happiness.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, John and Annie.
Thank you again, John and Annie. Thank you.
Thank you, John and Annie. Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you all. Peace.